Hey there. Another day in the shop. Let's see what we can get up to. Do something productive. This tractor over here, that one right there behind the dog, it followed me home to join the project list to go with that tractor over there that needs to get work done. Well, let's check out the number one offender. It needs some help so I can use it. Right in here, it's got these nice ripper things. There was a hydraulic cylinder in here, and it was spewing. So, we're gonna try and fix that cylinder. I got some parts for it. Alright, here's the body of this cylinder. It is a Gannon Power Link. Special cylinder for this application, and it's obsolete. Fortunately, inside of here, there's a little bit of discoloration, but no significant rust pitting, so we can just reuse that as is. Here's what came out of the rest of the cylinder. The shaft here is terrible. Just terrible. Can't reuse that. It's gone. Seals, worn out. That one was okay. This was the rod seal. This was the bad part, causing the major problem. This split right here, it was just pouring oil out anytime you tried to use it. Kind of surprised to see that this, what do we call this? Cap, gland, something or other, doesn't have a replaceable bushing in it. And the piston here does not have a replaceable wear ring. So, I guess it's a low budget device. Anyway, I was able to find a seal kit just for this cylinder. So, we should be able to make a successful repair. The plan is to take the new piece of shaft material in this box, duplicate this shaft, then use a piece of scrap, add it to the end, weld it on, and bore the hole in it. Let's make a diagram of what we're going to make here. So, chuck up this shaft in the lathe and measure it. Dang, someone made a huge mess on my lathe. Well, it doesn't fit. Alright, it'll work for now. Here we go. Gonna have to clean this mess to make something today. Alright. There. Now, so we need to ooh, that's nasty. Measure all of these features to duplicate them. Let's make that diagram. Here we go. Like this. There, one here, there, there. There we go. So we're gonna start. Now, what we got? Good old-fashioned micrometer. It says we want to be 7 and 350. Up there, 750, 747. All right, 1747. Now, so here we want 860 of threads. Right-hand threads. Right-hand threads. 860. 860. Close around. That works. Now, here we go. Total length 2.239. Here we go. Total length 2.239. Probably not super critical. Threads. Ah, shoot, we know tool. I found it. Got the good old Starrett number 40 thread pitch gauge. And if I had to guess, we're gonna say 18. 18? Is that 18? Oh geez, I'm out of whack. 18. 14? 15? 16? There we go. 16. You see that? 16? Let's see here. Here's my view. 16 fits right in there. Wow, don't like the focus. Well, anyways, that's the deal. So, now, try the next part. We're going to take, don't laugh, don't laugh. I'm a rookie. Oh, I don't know any better. Here, the ancient thread wire set. Oh, fun boring equipment. That's cute. There we go. Thread wires. All right, what do we do with thread wires? I thought there was a little. Don't laugh. I forgot already. What did we decide? 16? 16. Let's write that down. 16 threads. Now, I bet Google could tell me which size thread wires to use. Because I don't know. Never done this before. Figure it out. Here we go. The little amount of Googling we found. Little machine shop article. Looks pretty handy. Right there. It says super blurry. Here we go. Thread wire chart. 16 threads per inch. Use a 40 thousandths diameter thread wire. and the constant is 0.06587. Whatever that does for me, we're just duplicating the thread. So, out of my set here, my 40 thousandths thread wires is 2 wires and a drill bit. Whatever, it'll work. So, we're going to need to take one on this side and 2 on this side. That appears to be a measurement of 775. Well, that's convenient. All right. Thread wire equals 0.775 inches with 0.040 wires. Alrighty. Diameter, length, thread spec. We can duplicate this part. Once that's finished, we can make a measurement and copy the other end. Let's get ready to make a part. So we're set up. Got the lathe cleaned up. Got some copper soft jaws on there. We're set up. Got the steady rest set up. Got a 18-inch piece of chrome plated hydraulic shaft rod material. We're going to face it off as is tradition. Let's see how this goes. My favorite sulfur cutting fluid. Yeah, let's try it. How it appears to cut. There we go, there's the sulfur cutting fluid smoke. Yeah. Let's see, how's that look? Never worked with this chrome plated shaft material before. And I'm not cutting the best. It looks a little bit smeary. Let's try this again. Not that it matters. I have a little pip there in the center of my tool, slightly below center. There we go. And we'll get a better finish being closer on center. Nope, not a better finish. All right, gonna drill a center in here so I can support it and get the steady rest out of the way. Gonna try a little experiment here to make sure my center is more concentric, I guess, and not wobbling, because I noticed it has a little wobble to it. So I'm gonna take my tool post here like I'm drilling, and then put a little side tension with my tool post. See if that helped to center it up. I have my center drill in here so the cutting flutes are horizontal, so when I push it sideways, it cuts a little bit more on the backside. Here we are, faced and centered, and we're working on a vintage Atlas Craftsman 12-inch model lathe. Here's what we got to cut this down to. So if you look there, the small mark that my steady rest made on the exterior is going to be cut off in forming the end of this shaft for the piston to attach. Alrighty, here we go. Reset tailstock, ball bearing center. Got my stick out length here minimized, so I just have enough room for my tool to clear the end of the work. There we are. Now we're going to double check here. My shaft, we are just a hair under 2 1/4. So come in here at a little over 2 1/8, 2 3/16. Make a mark. That's where we're going to stop. Let's see how this cuts. So I believe on this first cut here, I need to take kind of an aggressive cut in order to get under the chrome plating on the shaft. So we're going to go 5/10 thousandths radially. The chrome plating is supposed to be about 1,000 thick. And we're going to cut it. Here it goes. This is peeling off the chrome plating. We got to cut this shaft. It's about 1 1/8 diameter down to roughly 3/4 of an inch. So we got to get the material to come off of here. Seems like it's coming off all right. Not the best finish, but we're cutting the chrome off. This insert's pretty well used. When I get down close to my finish side, I'll probably change the insert, trying to optimize the finish so it turns out nice. So curly bits coming off of here pretty hot. Some funky looking buildup there on my tool bit. I'm not used to seeing a powder-like buildup. Oh, that's ugly. See this here? I get this powder-like buildup on top of my tool bit. I wonder if that's the chrome plating coming off of the shaft. Well, we'll take another cut and figure it out. If it's just chrome plating, a second cut will not duplicate that. It's pretty ugly, but we don't have the powdery buildup here on the tool bit this time, so it must have been the chrome plating coming off on that first cut. Alright, well now it's reset and repeat until we're down to 750. Alright, here we go. We cranked it up to a 20 thousandths depth of cut, and we're breaking a chip now. My finish appears to be coming out significantly better. The machine's kind of bogging, it doesn't really like it, so we got a better cut this time to get the end of the cut and see how the finish looks. Let's check that out. Maybe a hint of chatter. It definitely looks a good bit better than the cut I was getting prior. We'll try that again. Alright, 15, 15, 25, 35. I'll go. Much better cut. 83. We're getting there. 173, take off 130. Keep going. 25, 25, 24, 150, 7, take off 110. Good. Alright, remember 83, 43, 40. Alright, take on 40. 10, 20, 38, take off 40. Alright. There we are, 801. Back with the fresh insert. Go at it again. Let's see what we got. Take off 10 thousandths. Here we are. 2.1, 82, 22, 29, 18, 29, 40, 50, 7, 57,000. All right. Let's set up here. What is this? Use that here. Right. How many gives that parallel to trouble? So I'm going to say right here we're touching 0. So I'm going to take 45,000 off the 35. So 20 deep. Here we go. Look like 237, is that what we measured? 239, close enough, 2 thousandths. How's the temperature? Still warm. Still says 750, 51, 52. Let's look at that. Take the tool off. Let's see what we got. Finish was a little bit rough. Let's smooth it up. Yeah, not really measurable. Now, we measured 747 with the micrometer in our inspection of the old shaft. This is pretty well agreeing with my caliper at 750.5. Alright, let's let this cool down, take a break for a few, and come back to it. recharge the battery so you feel better. Alright, we're back. It's been a week. Got some more time to work on stuff here in the shop. Back to the hydraulic shaft project. So, here we are. We've got the piston that goes on here, and it fits up to there. So I have a problem with this. It appears that my shaft has been cut tapered. Right here we're measuring at just a hair under 750, and over here we're measuring at about 751. It's not very much taper. Maybe. Here we go. Let's try and take a little tiny skim cut. Looks like this material is just going to refuse to cut nicely. What are we going to measure now? Alright, 749, 749 and a half, 749 and a half. Alright, so we have a little bit less air now. Let's see. Actually, that wasn't the right move. I wonder if I had a crumb in there. Weird. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking this piston might be mushroomed on the inside here. Yeah, that's what it is. Where the nut presses down on this piston, it's squeezed in a little bit at the very back end of the hole here. And that's why it doesn't want to slide on. Because this side here has clearance, and as we get the back end past the end of the shaft, it gets tight. There we go, a little bit of worrying it and it slides on there. Fancy. Let's get ready to cut some threads. Let's put some chamfers on here. Start of the thread. Do a little polish right here at the edge of the shaft where the seal slides over. So when we get to assembling, hopefully we don't have any issues with damaging the gland seal as the shaft is reassembled. Alright, hydraulic piston here measures 1.490. So we're going to transfer that onto here. Make sure we thread past there. My diagram from the old shaft, the thread had a thread length of 0.860 inches. Sorry for everybody else, I only think in inches. That puts me just a hair past my piston length mark. So we're only threaded a little ways into the piston. So right about there, we're going to make a thread relief to cut threads into, to stop my threading at that point. So we will go from here to here. That looks like a good spot. Cross fingers. Wow. That's tight. That's tight. Let's go slower. Out. We just have chatter at a different frequency. How do I figure out what my thread depth is for, what was this we're cutting? 3/4 16. 3/4 16. But there's got to be some magic on the internet for that. There we go. Thread basic dimensions for 3/4 16. Nominal diameter 0.75, pitch 16, minor diameter 0.6756. So we're going to make our relief about there or smaller, 6756. How far do we need to go? 734. So we got 675, 734, that's 34 and 25, that's 55 to go. 55. That's what we're doing. Here. 675, 695, 20 more, 20 more. All right, almost there. 675 slightly under. 675, 0 is what measure 5. Open it up. Okay, big relief on the French wall. We'll put a chamfer on it. Yeah, it's okay. Chamfer there. A little bit. More chamfer there. Let's do some threading. Here we go. We've got a threading tool set up. Ooh, yikes. Okay. Now. We're going to start here with my cross slide dial at 0. Make sure I have enough room to come in here, everything's clearing. Okay. 16 threads per inch. We got this widget right here.
says 16 here, B1. Let's give her a shift. There we go. Oh, yikes. Okay. Turn, engage. There we go. Forward reverse shifter. B. And over here. Put a little tension here and turn the chuck. And we're engaged. B1. Let's see now. Lead screw turns. It seems a bit slow for a 16 threads per inch. Over here in the gearbox we have the 50% reducer installed, so that's going to cut a 32 threads per inch. Let's change some gears and we'll come back to cutting this thread. Dang it. Here we are. This is the gear pair reducer that will get me back to cutting 16 threads per inch as the quick change box states. Let's get this gear changed. Here we are, let's change this gear. So, got my fancy thin wrench that fits in here. It's kind of sloppy, and 18 millimeter, but I'm sure it's not. We need to first loosen this guy, slide this contraption down. I'm also going to use a, can you see that right there? 3/8 BSW, because that wrench fits on this nut. So, there we are, jam nuts broken loose. Now we can wiggle this dirty gear out of here. Put a little oil on here and here. And slide that. Oh, what the heck?
That just fit there, what happened?
Why does that not? Is it backwards? Does this need to go this way? Huh, maybe it goes that way. Alright. Trials and tribulations of Thursday. Put the jam nuts back on. My daughter's here, hiding behind the camera, making funny faces at me, not wanting to be on camera. I think we're gonna have to edit out the parts that I caught her on camera where she didn't want to be.
I don't think I was on camera.
Okay.
I don't think I walked far enough forward.
If you didn't catch it the first time, this one is a 18 millimeter extra thin wrench, and this one is a 3/8 British BSW thin wrench. It just happened to be the first two wrenches that got into my hand that would turn these nuts. Ta-da! There we go. One of those. Fireworks! Yay, happy 4th of July. Hopefully you don't have PTSD. That's not going to be good for you. All this stuff going whiz bang boom over your head.
Dad.
My head. Somebody's head. A little bit of oil on there, a little bit of oil on there. And 3, 2, 1. Flinging oil. Alright. Cross your fingers with me. Let's head back up over here to the part. Now, we're going to go here. Oh, wait. We're setting cross slide at 0. Lathe on. Threading tool, come back. We are starting at 74 thousandths. Let's go about 4 thousandths. the right number. Yep. Alright. Back off. Out of here. Back to 0. And if you all crossed your fingers and your toes, we might have 16 threads per inch. Here's the thread checker, number 16, right there. And what am I seeing here? I'm seeing, can you see that? My little scratch looks like, oh there, look, camera assistant. If I line that tooth up there and that tooth up there, that sure looks like 16 threads per inch based on my thread checker. So, let's make some cuts. I don't know how this tool's going to work. I don't think I ever cut a thread with it before. Oh, I goofed that up. Over here, on this side of the lathe, there's this magic widget called a threading dial. It tells you when your lead screw and your thread on your part you're cutting are in sync. But, see how I forgot to engage it over here on the lead screw? It's been a while since I cut a thread. Let's get that set, try and figure this out. Here we go. I stuck my threading tool in my threading scratch, lined up my threading dial on number 1, engaged down here into my lead screw. Let's try again. So now, when we run the lathe, the threading, oh, what the Let's see, how do I get a better shot of this? Let's set up some stuff in the background, see if we can do that. Alright, we can see everything but the actual cut happening. Here's how we're going to do this. We are set at 0 here. We're advanced 5/1000ths there. Add a little oil to my thread. When this comes around to 1, which it's almost there, I'm going to throw the lever and start the cut. Here we go. Bam. Cutting the thread. When I get to my undercut, bam, throw it out. Back out 1 turn, return to the beginning, come back to 0, advance my thread cut 5/1000ths, wait for this to return back to number 1, and bam! 5/1000ths deeper on my thread. And I repeat, back to the beginning, Come back into 0. Add 5 thousandths. Add a dab of oil. Here comes number 1. And off we go. Cutting a thread. Back it out. Cutting a thread. Back to 0. Advancement tool bit 5. Make sure plenty of oil. Up on 1. Cutting a thread. Thousandths, little oil, ready to cut. Now, maybe I could get a better angle. Oh, we recorded sideways. Dang it. All right, everything's set for the next cut. Here we are. Oh, waiting for our dial. Come back around to number 1 because that's how I remember that it works. Back on number 1, cutting a thread, and bam. There we go. Back the cutter out, return to the beginning, bring the cutter in. I'm going to take a spring pass here with no additional infeed. Look how much material we're cutting off with no additional infeed. Bring it back, return to here. Let's take a measurement with the thread wires. There we go. Thread wires set up. We're measuring 7, 75, 85, 86, 87. 787. Now, let's check this out. On my nifty diagram, thread wire measurement was 775. So 787 to 775. Got 12 thousandths deeper we want to cut this thread, but I don't believe that 12 thousandths on my infeed here is what I'm looking for. I think I need half of that. So let's give it 1, 2, 3. Back to 0. I didn't like that 0. 3. Back to 0. Here we go. Well, it's starting to look like a thread. It's not quite as pretty as the original, but hey, home gamer, don't really know what I'm doing. Let's see if the nut fits. Oh yeah, disclaimer. At any point, if it appears I don't know what I'm doing, you're probably right. That's a nice round number. Let's back this off. And there's my nut too. There it is. Oh, not quite. I need to go just a hair more. Let's support it. Lock it. What are we looking for? We're 787. We're looking for 775. 775. 787, looking for 775. Let's see, set the thread wires here. So the single thread wire is halfway between the pair of thread wires. And we are a little bit looser now. Oh, that slipped. Now we are 775.81. So we cut off, we went 3 there, it took off 5. Let's go another 3 plus a spring pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and 1, 2, 3 there. Oil, run. All right. Rough. Yeah. Right. One back. Oh, we're rubbing the base circle. Interesting. One in. And this is our spring pass here to finish things up. Oh, it didn't cut anything. Interesting. Don't really care for that, but you know. It is a Thursday, and sometimes we have WTF Thursdays around here in the home game shop. Okay. Now, back to this. By the way, this is the first time I've ever cut a thread to a thread wire, or with a thread wire, trying to duplicate something. This is mostly just for fun. I could just cut the thread till the nut fits and call it good, because I'm only going to use that nut on this. But now we are 775, and I'm going to call it 3.5, 778.5. I need to cut a little bit more. Let's go 1, 2. Oil. Let's get it. There we go. That's it right there. We're done. And we're off. Back it off. We're going to here. There we go. Return it to 0. Really want to see this thread wire measurement work, and then put the nut on here. Look at that. I gotta bring you in close. There we are. That right there is gonna be 775 minus 1, 774. Like I measured. Now, grab the thread wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess. Pull that. Pull this. Yeah. You're gonna work, you're gonna work, you're gonna work, you're gonna work, you're gonna work. You're gonna work. There we go. head right here in my nifty drawer of tricks. This is going to get edited out for sure. Oh, look, there we go, I found it. This is rubberized abrasive Cratex. We'll polish this thread up a little bit. Come on, hold still there, buddy. Polish the thread with this abrasive stick that'll get down into the thread a little bit. Hold the thread, this will help. Jeez, why are you looking at? So, we're on my third peak. We are still at 748, so 200, 750. I wonder if that's too tall. I don't know. Maybe the diagram here says for 16 threads per inch with a 040 wire, we're going to add 0.238 and 2 meter diameter, so 748 plus 23. 748. Now you can see it with me. Here we go. 16 threads per inch, 0.395 thread wires. We're adding 0.0238 to 750. So that should be 774. Well, dang, isn't that what I just measured? Why does my nut not fit then? Woohoo! Fireworks! Today is the 3rd of July. In my area, you can purchase some fireworks to do at home. Nothing that leaves the ground, though, is the rules. So it starts to thread in there like it belongs, but it just isn't quite happy. Let's see. What if I use my second favorite wrench? Will fit there, will fit there. No, my second favorite wrench will not work on this. This would be the 1/2 W. That's my second favorite wrench. How about this guy right here? Nope. It's a 15, 16, 1 inch. Oh, we're gonna have to punt. Just for you, Mr. Pete, if you see this, good old-fashioned plumb, P-L-O-M-B with the inverted diamond. I love this wrench too. Alright, I found a wrench that fits on my nut. It would be good old-fashioned 1 1/8. But what I did notice while I was finding a wrench for this nut, so if I put this nut here on something that's round, look how much not round that nut is. Now, if we measure this guy on the normal-ish side, we're looking at 119.5. On the squished side, we are 110. So it's squished by 10 thousandths, making the thread inside undersized, and that's how come it will not thread on. So I'm going to go with my threading job, 1 thumbs up. It's only the 3rd. I haven't played with firecrackers yet. Still have both thumbs. Nut, threads on here, about halfway. We're not in frame. There we go, right there. It's on there, halfway-ish. I'm calling it good. What's next? So we have this end. Oh yeah. Enough. Not on. There we go. And so we're on here. On there. If I run this on, we are 2 threads showing past the lock nut. We are in compliance with my personal standard of 2 threads past the lock nut. Next, we need to duplicate, oh ding ding, not a winner, duplicate the off-camera end. Oh, good stuff in the way here. There we go. Off-camera end of this with the welded on ring and bore a hole in it. So let's go find some material to start that with. We can move forward. I did it on the first try. 2 thumbs. More to come.
Oh, I almost did the trick. It appears my facing tool is not wide enough. So we'll cut about half. Let's take another 20 thousandths. There we go. And back, clean it up. And do the trick. Should be pretty square enough for a tractor. Let's break the edges. That edge doesn't like me. Good enough. We need to finish the chips. Over here, chip brush. Clean that up. Over here. Like so. And probably safe. 10 thousandths. Cut half the diameter approximately. And go. That's not exactly what I anticipated. 10 thousandths. There we go. Now we'll clean off some rust. 20 thousandths cut. And there you have it. Clean up that side also. It doesn't smell that great, but it's clean. Let's give her a measure. Where are we here? It looks like on the business end of this shaft, this sleeve that's welded on here is 1 3/4, 1.756 OD. Hope I have some material that size. Let's go look. Let's go look. Is there any in this corner? No, that's just this corner. No, that's wrong. This corner. Yeah, there it is. What size is that? Macro. Oh, this looks like a 3-foot piece or whatever this is. It's kind of heavy. Need like a head mount for my camera. What's this gonna measure? This measures 1.5 inches. Well, if I stuck the shaft through this way, I made it 1 3/4 that way, that would probably work. Let's go look at the tractor this goes on. Just a hair over 1 3/4. So we're gonna go with 1 3/4 and call it good. 1 1/4, 3/4. We can make that out of the square material. Here we go. Got my stock material. Oh, there's a better scale. We were thinking about we can actually see numbers now. Yeah, here we go. 1 3/4. Plus some cut hair. And draw a line there. And then draw a line here. Draw a line here. And cut. Surprise! Super saw. Not because it's super great, because it's cut a super lot of material for what I paid for it. Here we go. There we go. There it is. Cut it off. No problem. Pretty quick, pretty clean. Now I cleaned it up. This is not very clean. Fortunately, we have a little extra material to remove. We turned out at about a hair over 1 3/4, which is perfect. So I'm going to set that guy there, set this guy here to square it, that guy there,
Close up the vise. So, there we go. There's that. Bam. Tighten the drawbar. Check my spindle speed. That's going to jam. There we go. Bring this down. Bring this table up to 0. Give the oiler a pump. Bring this over here about like that. Bring this down to like right. Just lock the spindle. Back the table off. Come off of here. Come back to 0. We'll take off 20 thousandths. And 3-phase on. Mill on. Let's cut. We'll lose the 3-phase, so I can hear myself think. And where are we? 769. So we could cut off 10 thousandths or so more. Yeah, let's do it. Let's take like another 10 or 15 off of there. Right on 1 3/4 plus a hair. Let's get a better measure. Let's do a 10. Clamp it. 10 thousandths. Let's go back to like half. 3-phase. Spindle. Now where are we? 7.
Welcome back. Here's the current situation on this project. Shaft is done. Went with the square chunk here for the block on the end instead of round because it was easier for me to deal with holding in a vise and whatnot. The shaft is welded, could be prettier. We're done here. New O-ring. I got the gland all cleaned up, threads clean, grooves clean. New seals on the outside, new seals on the inside. New wiper. I was unable to just force the new seals onto the new shaft, so I took my little leftover piece of shaft, turned a taper on it, polished it up, so I could use that to stretch the rod seal, I guess we call it, in here that was super tight. Maybe now it will allow me to slide the gland onto the new shaft. Let's try that out. Here we go. Clean. Little bit of light hydraulic fluid on here. Slide that out of there and cross your fingers with me. Oh, Jesus. Oh, there we go. Whew. Almost got me. That's the weirdest feeling thing. Okay. Clean this up. Got my piston seal O-ring there. Piston's ready to go. New seal on the piston. Everything's cleaned up. These pressure relief holes had burrs on them, which I cleaned up also. Click. Nice. All right. Got my lock nut here. Let's see if we can record this better. Let's tighten her up. Don't want that flying out of there. Ooh. Didn't have any Loctite on it before. Put it back together. Definitely tight. That's it. Alright, after spending hours looking for a tool, I now have a second tool because I can't find the first one I bought. So, cylinder here has this little rust line and a little bit of scoring up inside there, so we're going to give it a quick hone before we complete this reassembly. Well, yeah, let's see. How does that look? Well, it knocks off the high spots. Doesn't get the rust a whole lot. It's kind of rougher than I wanted it to be. Let's give it a little more. See better? Alright, here's my favorite. Scotch-Brite WD-40. Okay, see what's out. Ta-da! Good enough to use. What's that called? Serviceable. Let's clean it up, put it back together. Here we go. No brake cleaning. And check this out, it's the coolest part. Magically, my whole hand fits in the cylinder. How convenient. Yeah, a little bit on there still. Get in there. Alright, on that. There we go. Let's get a little light on there. Ta-da. Usable. A little bit of scratchy marks, not too bad. It'll go. Dang it. Alright, I'm being particular about cleaning this stuff up because the nut was difficult to get out of the end of the cylinder when I took it apart. Alright. I think we'll put her back together now. Some red grease, another one of my favorites. Let's give her a little in here where that goes. Put some grease on the reds. Okay, and then put some grease on here. Alright, just enough to be slippy, not too much. Put some grease on here. Grease here. Grease and some reds here. We'll go down the outside. Okay. Alright. Cross fingers with me. Oh, what? That slides super easy. Now let's see. Gonna have to let some pressure out. Oh, that's more than pressure. That's like a shirt.
going to achieve this? Maybe it just needs a better. There we go. Just needed a better negotiator. Let the pressure out. Slide. And let the pressure out. Slide a little more. Some pressure out. Let's see, not ready for that part. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Right here, I'm pushing the quick relief ball against the edge of the table to let the pressure out of the line. Alright, I think we're up to the point of putting this in. Okay. The twisty tool. Oh, Jesus. Put the twisty tool in here. Push it down. Get it? Is it gonna go? To be threading in. So let's see. Oh, you're back. Okay, too many wiggles. We have some pressure to let out. Oh, this hose is bad. This one right here, it don't bend. This one, bendy. Probably gonna have to do something about that one of these days. Let's go back to the other part. Yeah, this part right here is the bottom part. Oh shoot. There it is, right there. Ta-da! One hydraulic cylinder reassembled. Now, I need to get in here and square that up to the other end. There we are, little mineral spirits, cleanish Scotch Brite. We're going to clean all this mild steel stuff up down here. Make sure we got all the oils off of it. That's good. All right. Good douse some brake clean. Make sure we got all that off. Wipe it down. Puddle inside. And masking tape. Oh, I probably got the bad roll. Alright, here we go. Masking tape.
Alright, primer's dry. Time for some gloss marigold yellow. That sort of kind of matches Massey Ferguson Gannon Power whatever. It's close. Well, gave it a few minutes to tack up. Time for a second coat. Let this tack up and reinstall it. Here we are, back at the tractor to do a attempt reassembly. This bolt guy right here, pretty ugly. It went in down here like so. Yeah. We're gonna go this way. It went this way. Goes that way better. Okay. So here we are. This guy goes here. Come on, I know you fit. We need the multi-tool. Here it is. It wasn't that hard. Jeez. And this guy here up on top. Alright, back to it. Of course, your hands are absolutely filthy and you're right in the middle of something, the battery dies. So, we got the bolt in the bottom, got this funny pin here that takes 2 cotter pins to hold it in for the top. We gotta get this aligned here. There we go. If I were left-handed, that would have been easier. There's that guy. Drop this pin in there. Bend. Bend. Those fit in here. Perfect. Bend that pin so it can't come out. Now we need a nut on this guy down here. Okay. Did I get the right wrencher? Oh, yeah. I did. That one works. Except for it doesn't work on that side. How? Alright, just one of those things. There we go, let's give her a snug. This wasn't all that loose when I took it apart. There. Now, we got 2 hoses here. I scrubbed up the quick connectors a little bit right there because they're pretty rusty. Alright, dirt wiped off.
wipe this off and this off. There they are, 2 quick connectors. Now, the funky one went to the bottom. Why did I take that back? That doesn't look right. The funky one went to the top. Ugh. There's one. This is so hard to do. Requires 2 hands. Okay, slide that one in there. Push it in. Oh, no, didn't get it. There it is. One-handed. 2 lines hooked up. Ta-da! Alright. Make this thing go. We gotta figure out how to get the battery back in the box. Oh, that's not right. This battery cable has to be out of the way. Hey, there we go. Ta-da! There's one. There's 2. There we go. There we go. Let's see. What's this one say? Start. I think that's the start spot. Oh, here we go. This one. Yeah, that one says start right there in the center. No, can't see it either way. So, push that guy in. Glow plugs. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000. Here we go. Oh, it's firing right up. Try again. How does this thing work? All right, tractor. There it is. Now we're up. All right, let's see this valve here. There we go. No puking.
freaking amazing. Let's grab that jack stand out of there. That was painfully slow. Alright. Jack stand in here that was holding up the rippers. Let's tractor around a little bit. Let's see. There we go. We're working. This valve is sticky up here. Alright, so the last little movement in there, after the rippers stop rotating down, locks the ripper latch on the bottom. Wow, that's so sloppy. Alright. There we go. Brake off. Forward. Oh, I don't have any steering. That's not ideal. How's this work?